It is barely still morning. Yep, the clock still says AM, so we're good. I am currently writing an arrangement for the song I Don't Know Why by Imagine Dragons. Sometimes my arrangements can take me, 4 hours, 5 hours. They go pretty quickly, but this one, I'm struggling with it for some reason. So I'm going to try and finish it up today. I have a perfectly good desk for doing arranging work on the laptop, and yet I just always arrange on the couch. And so I just can't beat comfort. One thing that I really like to pay special attention about when I arrange is making the parts as sight readable as possible. So I try to clean them up a lot and add rehearsal marks and add bowings and dynamics and double bar lines at choruses and verses so that they're instantly sight readable, and even if you get lost, it's pretty easy to get back on and figure out where you are. And I've just found that the cleaner a part is, the easier it is to follow, the easier it is to play, and the less problems you have. So I really take a lot of time to clean up my parts and make sure they're all good to go. So I'm currently setting up a session to record this arrangement. I always try to at least record a demo of all of my arrangements just to make sure they all work together right, and that I haven't forgotten any bowings that are awkward or any string crossings that are really awkward, and sometimes I'll even change my arrangement as I'm recording it just to make sure I have the best possible arrangement. So I just checked some levels, and I'm going to do just a first pass where I play it all the way through and see how bad I am at playing it, and then we'll go from there. Well, that was the first pass. As usual, I've discovered a lot of things that aren't going to work super well on the cello. Like these triplets, I want them to be like almost every other. But that's really hard to do clean and fast. I can't even do it slow. So I'm probably just going to do something like just with like the accent on beats 2 and 4 instead of the accent every third triplet. So the things you learn when you record. This is why I always record my demos, because then I find out what works and what doesn't work in my arrangements. Let's do that again.
One eternity later.
So I'm trying something different with mixing this time. I usually record all of my tracks, pick the takes I like the best, bounce them into a comp track, and then kind of line up the inconsistent rhythms and pitch correct and do all those fine details once I have a comp track. But these rhythms were a little bit tricky for me to get right on, so I'm trying to do it all at once with every take. So because I'm a perfectionist, I have 47 takes of the cello part all the way through here, as you can see. So as I've gone along, I've tried to highlight which ones I liked best, and I'm going to put them all into a comp track and pitch correct and time correct them so that when I record the other tracks on top, it's a lot easier for me as I go along rather than trying to do all of that work all at once at the end. And it'll make my recordings a lot more in time and in tune hopefully, if my other recordings are in time and in tune. So, this might take a while, but I'm gonna start it anyway. Well, it's been over an hour, but I finally got the entire cello line pitch corrected, rhythm corrected, and all comped into one big long track. So now I'm going to repeat that process 3 more times for the viola, second violin, and first violin part. And then I should have some rough tracks that I can start mixing. Yay! Alright, we have a small problem because the triplets that form the basis for like the entire song are proving really, really difficult to play on an instrument at the speed. On a stringed instrument, not the piano. On the piano, they're fine. It's really easy to play them on the piano. But the intervals on a stringed instrument are really, really hard. So this it's pretty tricky. I could get it. I'm not sure that makes this the most playable arrangement, which is unfortunate. So I'm trying to figure out a different way to do this. I could either add in some slurs, or I could have the viola play the bottom note and the violin play the top note. Or I can do a weirdly complex combination of those, which might sound cool. Which would probably sound pretty cool, but I have them in octaves right now, so we just have to figure out which one is going to sound the best. This is why I play all of my arrangements before I publish them, because you never know what's actually playable or not until you start playing it.
One eternity later.
Alright, this one only took me 27 takes, so it's half as many as the cello, which is nice. I'm going to now pitch correct and rhythm correct, and then I'll move on to the violin 2 part. Alright, we're halfway done. I'm about to record the second violin part. Probably should have tuned my violin before that. That would be nice. It's also hard to go from playing viola to violin because the spacings are so much bigger, so I'm always really out of tune for the first couple of measures. But it also helps to have an in-tune instrument. I'm gonna do that and then try it again. Alright, second violin has been recorded. Only took 21 takes this time, so I'm getting faster. I'm going to, I pitch corrected, and now I need to time correct. So, I'm gonna do that for a little bit. Alright, this is the first violin part, last part. Got this. It has been about 7 hours since I started finishing up this arrangement, and about 5 hours since I started recording I finished the first violin part, and now I just need to pitch correct and rhythm correct it. And I'm really tired, but I'm really close to finishing this track. So I'm going to do that, and I'm not going to film it because I filmed a lot today and my phone is running out of space. So I'm just going to do that off camera. But suffice it to say, it takes a long time to do all of this stuff. Like a long time. It's great. Alright, I hope this works. I'm kind of technology challenged. Actually, I'm just social media challenged, so taking a selfie and like talking to a camera feels really awkward to me. But I guess I've been doing that half this video already, so what am I worried about? So it is clearly another day, and I'm in the studio getting ready to finish up mixing and mastering the I Don't Know Why track. I don't know why I'm doing this either. For the views, all for the views. No, I really enjoy doing it. I'm actually really excited with how this track is turning out. I think it's really cool and really rhythmic, which is a key part of an Imagine Dragons song, which is one of the reasons why it is so hard to cover as a string quartet, because string quartets usually aren't terribly percussive. They tend to go more for beautiful and melodic, but I really like pushing myself, and I like pushing the boundaries of what a string instrument can do. And so I'm really excited with how it's turning out. So I actually have done an initial mix and master. So this isn't like completely from scratch, but I'll at least show you a little bit of my process when I mix and master. I usually like to wait a couple of days after I finish the rough master of the track and then come back to it later and listen to it again with fresh ears, just because I pick up on things that I didn't notice before. And it also gives me a chance to bounce a rough master and listen to it on my phone speakers, on laptop speakers, in the car, on different sets of headphones, because then I can kind of see where the balances are across different mediums, so I can fix that when I get back into the studio. So let me just show you right now what I've done with my initial mix and master. So for those of you who are interested in nerdy things like I am, I don't know if it's going to focus too well, but I've put an EQ, a reverb, and a compressor on all of my tracks. These are comp tracks, so as you can see, if I can hold my camera steady, these are the initial tracks that I recorded to, the comp tracks. These are my MIDI tracks that just helped me stay in tune while I was recording. And then once I'd gotten these where I liked them, I put a little bit of pitch correction on them, and then I bounced them to here. So I have all of these comp tracks that I was then able to work with. I like working with comp tracks more than I like working with the actual recording tracks, because I don't like dealing with 47 takes all in one go. I prefer just to comp it all together, and then when I mix, I can just deal with one take at a time, which is really nice. I am pretty self-taught when it comes to mixing and mastering, so those of you mixing and mastering and recording engineers out there, please don't cringe at what I'm doing to my tracks. This is getting really technical, so if you're bored, you can skip this part of the video. I prefer to use a compressor rather than volume for my mixes, because I feel it's better to play in your dynamics rather than try to create them artificially later using volume. And a compressor just kind of affects how loud, or not necessarily how loud, but how prominent something is in the mix. So it kind of affects volume, but it's more than just volume. It's more where it sits in the mix. So I prefer to use a compressor and not volume, but sometimes you do have to make tiny adjustments to volume. For example, I ended up actually hating how the first violin and the viola sounded together at the beginning, but just because octaves are really hard and they were really fast and really tricky to get together, and so they weren't super amazing. I didn't really like it, so I ended up just dropping the first violin part a lot and adding a ton of reverb, because reverb hides many sins, and then dropping the volume even more, so the first violin part is barely audible and you just hear the lower octave in the viola a lot more for the beginning part, and then the first violin part kind of comes up when the melody happens. And you can see my reverb way boosted the reverb, and then I brought it way down. So I'm going to continue mixing and mastering this track. I have plenty of motivation to keep me going. I have a Himalayan salt lamp for all the good vibes. So hopefully it sounds good when I'm done. We'll see. I think I have finished the mix and master. Obviously, I still need to listen to it on various headphones and in the car again and on the laptop and all the different ways someone might listen to it when it ends up on YouTube or hopefully maybe even on Spotify. But for now, I think the official track is done and all that's left to do, and I use that very loosely because there's still a lot left to do, but I'm going to film and then edit the film together and then post it on YouTube, and we'll have another video soon. So I'm filming one of the parts of my video. I've been up and down the stairs like 15 times because I keep forgetting what I need. Hopefully I remembered everything this time. But yeah, I decided to do my hair and my makeup, and my husband thinks I look like a unicorn with this hair. Not really sure what to make of that, if it's a compliment or not. But this is the room where I'm going to be filming. The board where I'm basically putting everything together. I need to work out more. Too many stairs all at once. I kind of want this to be like one of those mystery movie TV series things. You can tell I've been watching way too much Person of Interest recently, and if I had a glass board or a whiteboard, I would totally be using that. But I'm doing the next best thing, and I have a blank wall over here. I have pictures and plenty of red string, because apparently that's essential for solving a mystery, so we're gonna roll with that. Alright, I am here filming for the video. Surprise, surprise, the mystery person is also me. There's a reason why this channel is called Da Sola, which in Italian means all by myself. Because I'm doing it all by myself. It's great. I feel like every single time I have filmed something on this street, a car has come by and I've gotten the weirdest looks as to why I'm in a jacket and scarf in the summer. And I have to admit, I can't disagree with the crazy looks because it is hot. But it will all be worth it. Oh my goodness. I am picking the wrong costumes for these videos. A scarf and a jacket in summer and now all black in summer? I'm crazy. I'm crazy. I just finished filming the rest of the storyline scenes. At least I hope I finished filming them. If I forgot something, I'm not going back and doing it again. It's so hot. I don't know why I did that. That seems to be the theme of this video. I don't know why I'm doing things. So we have a slight problem for the rest of the day. I would really like to get this video done before I teach lessons today, because if I don't get it done today, I don't have time to do it until like a couple weeks out. So I'd rather not wait a couple weeks for the rest of the video, especially since I've already done up my hair and my makeup and put these fake eyelashes on, which are annoying, and I'd really rather not do that more times than I have to. So I'm really hoping to get it done today. But the places that I was going to film the actual instrumental parts, where I'm like, you know, playing my instrument like a normal person, those are all in direct sunlight right now. I scouted them out last evening, which was dumb, because now either I wait till evening when I don't have time, or I play in the direct sunlight, which, as awful as that would be for me, it would be even worse for my instrument, so that is not an option. So I gotta find another place to film this. This should be fun and interesting. So I just filmed the end screen, not the end screen, I just filmed like the final. Let me start over. Words are hard, okay? I just finished filming the end screen, where I like talk a little bit about the video and tell everyone to please subscribe, so I feel like I should keep doing these. I was going to film a little bit more behind the scenes when I was filming the instrumental parts outside, but it was really hot and my phone was the only thing I was filming on, and it was running out of space and dying, and just all of my electronics decided that they couldn't take 100-degree weather for some reason. They were just too hot, which is what I get for trying to live and film in Utah, I guess, in the middle of the summer. Oh, and then also, I accidentally dropped my cello, which was like the worst thing that could have happened. Cello's fine, don't worry. Cello's okay. it was standing up and it was in its case, which was the reason why it was okay. Everyone get a hard case for your cello. It's amazing. Get a good hard case. Spend the money. It's worth it. But yeah, the cello was in the case and it was standing upright. And then I just turned and my violin was on my back and the violin case knocked the cello case over, which I guess maybe is like a metaphor for violins and cellos. I don't know. I'm not going to get involved in the violin cello debate because I love both instruments. But anyway, my violin knocked over my cello and it was so sad. It was like that moment where I could see it happening and I like couldn't stop it. I was like, no! And it fell on its back and I had a little mini heart attack. But the cello was fine. I opened up the case. It was just super out of tune and I didn't have time to fix the tuning before I went to film, and so I filmed with a super out of tune cello. So maybe I'll throw some of that footage in the behind the scenes. It sounds so bad. And of course, every single car drives by while I'm playing this like super out of tune cello, and they're all like, "It sounds so beautiful." I'm like, "No, it doesn't. It sounds so bad. It's so out of tune." But anyway, the cello was fine, but it was very traumatic. And when I finally got back from filming, I did not feel like doing a behind the scenes because I was hot and gross and sweaty and crying inside over my poor baby cello. So yeah, that was the thing that happened. Well, now I have all my footage, and there's a ton. And so now I just need to sort through it and edit it. Simple, right? Should be super easy. I'm nearly at the end. I'm just finishing up editing. And when I say finishing up, I mean that very loosely because I opened up the project and I was like, oh, I just have a few more things to edit. And I saw I was not even halfway done. And that is about how I feel right now. I'm just kind of a little bit... Yeah, I'm very tired, but this project has definitely been worth it. But it's taken a while. That's why it's called Desola, because I'm all by myself. Anyway, it's taken a while, but it's going to be worth it, and I just really hope it turns out good. So, I'm going to get to editing, and hopefully you enjoy the finished product.